Yo, what's up? It's Nuto, and I'm here with a quick tips and tricks video for new and returning players. But before we get into the tips, I actually wanted to mention this Hyperion World Leap event, and it's going to start June 11th, which is Stargazer update. The reason I want to mention this is because if you are a new or returning player, you should definitely play in Hyperion. And when I say play in Hyperion, I mean start in Challenger World and then move that character once you're done with Challenger World to Hyperion. The reason I'm saying this is because of this perk 2 right here, where if you go from Challenger World to Hyperion, you will get increased Ultimate Legion growth potions, which give you a free level 200 for each of them. Normally you would get 4k Legion, but now you will get 6k Legion, which is a huge increase, and it's going to be very beneficial. Sure, if you have friends in Chronos, go play there. It will still be beneficial to play in Challenger World because you get free 4k Legion, which is still solid. But if you don't have any friends in Chronos, or if you and your friends are starting all together, then you should definitely go to Hyperion. Alright, let's get into the actual tips and tricks. First tip is going to be about keybinds. So in general, I would recommend having like a lot of your UI stuff on the right side. That's personal preference, but my actual tip that NPC Chat must be on Y. It's the only key that's non-negotiable. What is NPC Chat at all? NPC Chat lets you interact with NPCs that you're close to. So here I'm standing next to Mr. New Name. I press NPC Chat, I'm going to talk to him. If I press it again, it's going to click the highlighted line. And this is going to work until you reach accept or decline, or sometimes there's yes and no, which is the same thing. If you use NPC Chat at this point, it either does nothing or it will close it out. But if you're at this point and you press the letter Y, it will act as yes and click accept. You press N, it's no. So if you put NPC Chat on Y, then holding or spamming Y will go through all the dialogue, and if there's an accept, yes or no, it will also accept that. So with this guy, if I just hold down Y, there, I accepted his quest just by holding Y. It spammed everything. It's super easy. It lets you go through a lot of quest lines way faster than if you didn't have it like this. All right, so this next tip is going to be an easy way to slowly but passively level up a bunch of Legion characters. I think one of the better ways to level up your Legion, especially if you hate training the class, level them up to 100, which doesn't take that long. And once you make it to 100, just kill Zakum daily. Over time, you will level up your characters. This is going to be for Link and Legion characters. Let me know if you want me to make a guide about which characters are best, or explaining the whole system of Links and Legion. Assuming you know how that works and you just wanted to level up characters to 140 is usually the main goal, or maybe 210 if it has a level 3 Link. Get them to 100, a bunch of them to 100, and just do Zakum daily. So here we are at Zakum, the 103 Blaze Wizard. Say I wanted to level him for Legion. So you're gonna do normal Zakum. So as you can see, I killed him and I leveled up, and I'm at 100% XP. Also, a face accessory dropped. I can pick this up. Helpful accessory if you're trying to gear up some mules. That took me maybe 1 minute, and I was able to level technically twice. So since I'm at 100% XP, the next monster I kill, I'll level up. So I got 2 levels for 1 minute of work, basically. Let's see how much we get at 125. Another reason to go to Hyperion. I'm stuck in this event map because it's so laggy. Let me out. Finally free. A tip related to Zakum is that if you have like extra time and it's starting to get really slow, go look for a rune. If you're having trouble finding a rune, just go to like very popular maps. If you open the Maple guide, any of these maps will be pretty popular. Runes are more likely to spawn if a map is popular. Finally, a rune spawned. So runes give you double XP, and this is going to help this guy a lot. He's 125, so a bit higher than the level 100s. So since he was close to leveling, I just leveled him so that it doesn't do the double level thing and we lose XP potentially. 126 with double XP because of the rune. How much can we get? 50% XP. That's 2 days if you get the rune each day to level this guy. And the goal that we're gonna stop at with this tech is going to be 130. That's when you can use extreme growth potions, which give you a bunch of free level ups basically. You have to be minimum level 130 to use them. Also, over all these days, you're going to get multiple attempts at the eye accessory and the face accessory. I got lucky and got both of them today. You can use this tech, get a bunch of characters to 100, and then just slowly do Zakum each day on them, inch your way towards a pretty high legion for a very small amount of time you're putting into training them each day. So my next tip is actually going to take place right here. So you see these characters sitting on the 275 chair. If you click on them and you raise their fame, you click up on their fame, you will get a buff. 30 minutes, 50% attack, and 50% magic attack. So this is a very helpful buff that can actually help you maybe one shot if you're struggling to one shot when you're mobbing, or it's like an extra damage boost you need for a boss that you're on the edge of clearing or something. This buff is only going to be once a day. You can only raise someone's fame once a day. Keep that in mind. Don't just waste it willy-nilly. The entrance to Zakum, which is where I am right now, there will be a lot of these guys. If you don't see them, just change channels. Channel 1 will definitely have them. Yeah, there's a bunch. Keep in mind, there is a 250 chair, which gives you a weaker buff. If you see 250 and a 275 next to each other, you do the 275 so you get an increased buff. Also very important to fame the one that you think looks coolest. That is essential. My next tip is about boss practice mode. So this is a very helpful tool. If you're a returning player, you might know about practice mode. It used to be limited to 5 times per day. Now it's been revamped and you can enter unlimited amount of times. And there's a lot of helpful buffs that have been added to the feature. So here I am at Magnus. And this is the normal way to enter. You choose your difficulty and just enter. Or you click practice mode. And I believe this only applies to weekly or monthly bosses. That's why normal and easy went away. But you click on your difficulty here, and then you're gonna click apply selected buffs. And this is just basically saying whatever buffs you have are gonna go away and be overridden by what you're applying right now. So now you can click on which buffs you want to apply, and it will give you a permanent version of all of these buffs. So you get one of these potion items, and again, here's the 275 buff that we're talking about, so you can even pretend to have that. But once you've selected the buffs that you think you might need, or more realistically, the buffs that you actually have access to, so it can be a realistic test of the boss run, you make sure hardest selected or whatever difficulty you want, you click enter. Now you can see it says practice mode at the top, and on the top right there's all these buffs with a P. So you can use this, come in here, practice if you can kill this boss or not. It's a very helpful tool, and if you're scared to find out or scared to waste some of your buffs, maybe you have like the red pot saved up and you don't want to waste it unless you know you actually have a chance, then this is a really good way to find out. Quick mention about Challenger's World. For the boss solo challenges that you have to do as part of the Challenger missions, it actually applies if you solo it on practice mode. So you can go in with a party and clear as 6, and then go back in on practice mode and solo it later in the week or something like that. So the next tip is going to be about some ways to get Starforce. This won't be a problem for your Hyperburn characters because they have something called Terra Blink, and it's just going to level them from 0 to 200 in like 10 minutes, and you won't need to worry about Starforce or anything. But in the future, for other characters where maybe you wanted to train them manually instead of doing like the Zakum tech, or maybe beyond 130 you wanted to speed it up and manually train up to 200, then there's a lot of Starforce maps that exist in this game. The Starforce maps start around level 100, with this being my first recommended one at 110, and you see the 15 stars it requires. So you need 15 Starforce. And a lot of the times in the early game, Starforce can be pretty annoying to get, especially by the time you're going to Kerning Tower. Getting this 80 Starforce to train at these maps, which are really good XP, and the Omega Sector maps, 140, it's very difficult sometimes to hit those Starforcing requirements. In general, I would recommend stopping at 10 stars if this is just an under level 200 100 character. Maybe you can go to 12 stars, maybe 11 if you're like close to a threshold for a map. In general, I'd say 10 stars max for each item. And a lot of the times when you're leveling up, you'll have an inventory that looks like this. Very empty, and you might even have some unstarable gear. So there's a couple of daily bosses that you should make sure you are doing every day. Like I mentioned earlier, Zakum for XP, it can actually drop a face and an eye accessory, and one of them goes to 8 stars and the other one goes to 10. So that's already 18 stars right there for free. For earring, you can go kill Hilla or Horntail, and they both have a chance to drop an earring. Agnes has a chance to drop a shoulder. Pink Bean can drop a belt. Pendant you can get from Arcarium, Horntail, and Von Leon. Von Leon also drops a ring that can be starred up to 10 stars. And Horntail also drops a ring for 10 stars. So if you get all of those, your Starforce can go up quite a bit. But those are also RNG gated. You may or may not hit, even if you are consistently doing your dailies. Now, one extra tip I have is to join a guild. If you don't know where to join a guild, I'm going to link a Discord down below, Reboot Central. There's a recruiting tab in the Discord. Make sure you're checking that you're in the right world or the right server. If you're in Reboot, it's either Kronos or Hyperion. And the reason guilds are important, we open the guild tab right now. There's guild skills. There are a bunch of benefits over here, but the thing I'm talking about is 25 extra Starforce. Now early on, 25 Starforce is pretty significant boost, especially if you're trying to train in an Omega sector where the requirement is 140. Oftentimes having a guild will almost be necessary to hit that along with the other daily accessories. So joining a guild will give you a decent boost to your Starforce. Also, if you wanted to see your Starforce, if you open your character info, Starforce is just right down here. And if this isn't showing up, just click details. So my next tip is going to be about the cash shop items that can be bought with Mesos instead of the paid currency, which is NX. If you don't know how to get to the cash shop, it's going to be right down here, this little gift basket icon. Once you're in the cash shop, most of the Meso items are going to be in the game tab. We go here and you scroll. The pink numbers, these are all Meso items. These are some pretty helpful items. The Miracle Circulator rerolls your inner ability. The Monster Park additional entry tickets can get you a lot of XP per day. You get 1 free run, you can buy 6 more, so you can do 7 runs a day, and it's a lot of XP if you do all of them. Especially on Sunday, there's extra XP. You can name your android if you want and get married. I don't even know what a respawn token is. I've never used this before. Safety charm, if you die in this game, you just get a debuff where you get 80% reduced EXP and drop rate for a certain duration depending upon your current level. Safety charm will let you get rid of that buff for you. And the last thing is hyper teleport rocks. So they have it for 1 day, 3 days, and 7 days. This is probably like the most important Meso item. You buy this basically every week on a character you're actively playing, and it will let you teleport to any map you double click on the world map. Now they did just announce that these items are going to be taken out of the cash shop, and that's because in Stargazer they revamped the world map and how teleporting works. So in Korea it's different than how we have it, where they don't have exactly these hyper teleport rocks the same way we have it. When they're saying they're removing it, I'm a little worried that these items are going to be gone forever and we will just get way worse mobility around the map. But I'm hopeful they're gonna just adjust how the teleportation is being revamped in our version of Maplestory so that we can still keep our level of mobility. Otherwise, that would really suck. I don't know what to say. All right, my last tip is gonna be about character presets. If you don't know what character presets are, it's basically a preset for your whole entire character. Straightforward, it's in the name. The way you use it is there's a keybind for swap preset, and you can't put it on 1 through 5 as you can see while I'm holding it. And that's because when you hold down swap preset, you get a little UI down here. Right now I have boss, box, train, and 2 that I didn't really set up. So if I'm holding 6, which is where my swap preset is, and I press any of these numbers 1 through 5, it will swap to that preset. If I press 1, it's boss. You want to swap? Are you sure? And then I can say yes, and it will change everything. I'm at 11.1, and let's say I want to go to training. Yes, and go to 8.3. It helps so much to set this up. It will save you a lot of time. The only thing that can't be part of your preset is familiars, because character preset is a KMS feature that we got ported over and they don't have familiars. So I'm hoping eventually GMS will add familiar support. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. So basically you need to use your character preset and go to box. For me, box is my increased drop rate. So after you kill the boss, a lot of the times there's a box room or a loot room, and that's when I would switch there to box and then do my familiars manually. And then you can break the box and have max drop rate, or if you're about to fight a boss, you can quickly go back to boss. How do you set these up? There's character down here, the single person, and then character preset. So here we have all of the tabs. If you want to name the tabs, you can click on the little cog tab and you can just change these very easily. Save and it will change. So what can you change with the character preset? Well, you can change your equipment. And if you click this little arrow, it will open up what you're about to change. So preset 1, 2, and 3. It can be adjusted here. So on your bossing preset, for me, I want preset 1. This has all my damage gear. Or you can choose to not select, which means it won't change whatever gear you are. So it will just leave it untouched. That's what not selected means. You can also change your hyper stats. So this is bossing, 2 is for mobbing. So that's why training has 2. You can change your inner ability, which is down here. 1 is for bossing again, and 2 is for mobbing. 2 is also for my box because it gives me increased drop rate. We'll also do Legion. You can choose the bossing setup, or for training, I'll have a setup like this. It helps to change all these things because you used to have to manually do it, but now you can just hold one button and press which preset you want, which is very fast. Link skills as well. They have presets on the top. And then hotkeys. I usually leave this not selected because I don't really use hotkey presets, but if you wanted to, you could have a full different key preset for bossing or mobbing or whatever you want. That's how you set up your character preset. For box, or maybe calling this drop might be more accurate, I would recommend putting on your drop gear equipment, putting on your drop inner ability, and leaving the rest not selected. This is just helpful for if you're like bossing and then you want to open the box, you can quickly switch to box without wasting like a link skill transfer or something. Or maybe 2 mil Mesos on hyperstat transfer, even though you know you're going to go right back to boss right after the box is done. So those are all of my tips. Hopefully you learned something. Enjoy playing Maple once the Stargazer update comes out. I'm excited. I'm going to be making a cannoneer in the challenge. Maybe I'll see you out there. Bye bye. Bye bye.